So, as we come to this last teaching session in the course, um, before the student presentations, I thought I would just reflect on my current thinking about AI without overlapping with the interview Sharahil did a week ago, which I encourage you to look at. And so, yeah, I've prepared a PowerPoint that deals with some other issues. Yeah, here it comes. So, good AGI, enabling a Star Trek world, AI spillover in medicine and politics, and AI solving humanity's 24 big challenges. Yeah. And so, one of the curious things in the last year is that I started in 2022 being an early adopter of DALL-E, and I created 17,000 or more images. But in December, I discovered that everybody else was sort of catching up to me and that there wasn't much profit in doing that. So I pivoted in December and stopped using generative AI images. And so every image in this presentation was created by a human. How about that? Yeah. And one of the other interesting things that's happening is this idea of Kevin Kelly that there are no AI experts today. You know that he was the founder and executive editor of Wired, and he is still very active as a futurist. And he says things are changing so fast, the AI of today will not at all be what we think of as AI in 30 years. And that in that sense, there are no AI experts today, and any of you can become tomorrow's AI experts. It's kind of an exciting idea. Now, what about disclosures? Financially, I don't have any, but politically, you remember that I had a video about Eliezer Yudkowsky's list of lethalities, all the ways that AI can kill us. And that video is my most popular video thus far. And an article came out reacting to it. Where are the AI utopians? Pointing out that I'm like the only one who is painting this utopian future for AI. Um, so you might think I'd be feeling sort of like a lonely outsider since I am the only person holding the utopian view. But actually, I think many people hold that view, including prominent people. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says very positive things about the future every time he is interviewed. And the author of the best-selling AI textbook, Stuart Russell, his discussion of what happens if we succeed is also very positive. And another thing about feeling like an outsider, a political analysis of the output of Chat GPT shows it to be almost like identical to my own politics. So in that sense, I actually feel quite befriended by the current situation with AI. And maybe utopia is too strict a term. Many people feel we're headed for a Star Trek future in terms of the future economy and discoveries and so on. And that's close enough to my own aim. So maybe that's a better term to think of what we're aiming for. Sam Altman tweeted in July 2022 that AGI is probably necessary for humanity to survive. Our problems seem too big for us to solve without better tools. And the idea presenting here in this slideshow is that AGI will probably be able to solve most of our problems, and humanity can thrive. And that's the positive outlook that I'm looking for. Now, what about this political analysis of ChatGPT output? So this is very interesting, and it shows that ChatGPT tends to be liberal, democratic, and more or less sitting the same place that I sit with left liberals. So no wonder I'm so comfortable with the current AI situation. And if you think about that, if that is true, then if a lot of people are using Chat GPT, they're being influenced in terms of their politics. And that's a kind of AI spillover. It's just part of what the spillover would be of the very dramatic progress being made by AI. So it is leading probably to political success because as people use Chat GPT, they get indoctrinated in these positive political beliefs. Yeah, so that's one kind of spillover. Another is that without specific AI projects, AI helps humans to be more creative, productive, to have better ideas. Yeah, and that's already happening. Now, as you know, for some time, we've been interested in this list, all-inclusive list of the 24 challenges of humanity that can be addressed by AI and collaborative intelligence. And so what this spillover then means is you don't need necessarily a specific AI project in each area. The general success of AI in our society will make human beings more creative, productive, generating better ideas. And so that will bring progress in some of these other areas. That is a secondary effect, a spillover effect of AI's presence in our culture. But the other thing that will also happen as a part of the spillover is some of these things will be solved without AI at all because of the threat of using AI and people realizing that's ridiculous, that humans can do this without AI, so let's get her done, you know? And yeah, so with this spillover, it becomes not only an all-inclusive list, but you can imagine that the project itself of doing all these 24 things can be a project that's self-contained, has no loose ends in the long run, and all challenges, or most of them, can be solved eventually by either human creativity, machine creativity, or both together as we get closer to artificial general intelligence. And at that point, most of these things will be solvable. This is our team. The pictures of many of the 28 that came from the CFAR and CIHR grants. The idea of the all-inclusive list of 24 came from Marcus Hutter, well-known AI researcher in Australia. And these are some of the students involved. Probably some of you listening to this are also in the category of students involved in our projects. And then this is Rich Sutton's Twitter posting from September 29th um, eyes on the prize. The case for ambition in artificial intelligence research. Now, we've read this together before, but I think probably what you would have found a little bit troubling or disturbing is this phrase, whose significance is beyond humanity. But you know, if you do it right, if you think about, for instance, Yuval Noah Harari, his criticism of our use of uh, the idea of utopia because it will bring about religious strife between groups of humans and so on. He's thinking about these problems purely as something that humanity must solve. But if you bring machines in, I think machines can design a better utopia than humans can without the strife between religious groups and many of these other things. So if we take this beyond humanity with limits of the downsides, it is exactly what we need. Humans alone cannot figure out the final steps towards utopia or a Star Trek future, but machines can. And working together for benefit of humans, a great future can be created. And what if we've left something out? Poetry and music can name the unnameable and communicate the unknowable. And so we really have included that too, with the future and all that jazz, my collaboration with Mallory Chipman and Brian Raines. This new way of thinking also needs new music and poetry, and we're doing that. That's where the future and all that jazz comes in. And an album is expected from us in 2024. We already have the first track. It's called Heart Drive. I think you'll like it quite a lot. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to tell you and get you thinking about. And I look forward to the class period today when we can talk about all this stuff more, eh? Yeah.